Well, 1 week ago, we shared the story of a local family given the remains of a loved one thought to be their sister, who then they learned was still alive, living in Detroit. Today, Isabel Garcia took a closer look at what exactly goes into identifying someone after death and the one issue that could be a factor in what happened here. Isabel.
Yes, hi, Adam. I spoke with the president of the National Association of Medical Examiners, Dr. Reed Quinton, who explained there are some slow improvements, but the national shortage, actually, of forensic pathologists has been ongoing for some time. A forensic pathologist is a medically trained doctor. Therefore, a person would need to complete medical school, which is costly and timely. Then there is specialized training, even beyond pathology residency, to get into the forensic route, meaning these are cases the legal system would want to know why a person died. There was a slight growth of interest, I'm told, following the COVID-19 pandemic, where these workers were considered essential and truly on the front lines, determining causes of death. Dr. Quinton explains there typically had been about 35 people passing and completing the board exams on a yearly basis. Now that's about 45 to 50 people, and this is all across the nation. He adds this is barely outpacing the number of people leaving the practice.
So there are many positions that go unfilled across the country every year, and we estimate right now that there's probably about 750 to 800 practicing forensic pathologists across the entire country right now. And the estimates are we probably need about double of that.
Dr. Marissa Jacob-Leonce is a forensic pathologist and the director of autopsy at the University of Rochester Medical Center. She's also a member of NAME and sits on several committees within the organization.
It's a field where there's actually limitations if an office is accredited as to how many cases an individual forensic pathologist can do a year, just to ensure that the rate or the probability of having an error occur is significantly reduced. Persons are typically capped around 250 to 300 autopsies a year. And this is someone who doesn't have a big workload in terms of having other administrative duties or teaching duties. And so if you have someone who's now the chief medical examiner or has a significant part of time teaching in a medical school or somewhere else, that number kind of has to be reduced. And so you find that we have more cases than persons trained to do autopsies.
NAME maintains an industry standard set of rules and guidelines all practicing forensic pathologists adhere to, including when a death falls under the jurisdiction of a medical examiner's office, as not all instances require an autopsy.
When it comes to scientific identification, the low-hanging fruit, meaning the most usually available, is doing some sort of comparison, usually dental records. Again, I like to remind persons in order to do a comparison, you first need something to compare it to. And so in order to do dental records where you are doing an x-ray at the time of autopsy to compare, you need someone where you have the dental records while they were leaving and knowing that this is the actual person.
Now, Dr. Jacob-Leonce also tells me URMC has 2 residents set to complete their programs within forensic pathology this year, graduating soon. URMC also sponsors a joint fellowship through the county's medical examiner office, with that fellowship still open for right now. For now, reporting in the studio, Isabel Garcia, News 8.